moving to the next part, the second phase, which is the online or and AI-led interviews. Here we are going first to talk about the online AI-led interviews. I mean, if you have been applying for some time, you should have already confronted this, which make some people, most people, uncomfortable, in my opinion. That is having an interview with AI. It's not very comfortable because I mean, as humans, we would rather be talking with another human. Of course, this changes from one person to the other. But there are some tactics that nonetheless we all have to know whether we like it, feel comfortable with it or not. And that is how to, conduct an interview with AI, how to actually make a difference and stand out. So yeah, global firms they use AI, usually Haiku or standard Zoom team calls. These require specific digital presence, so you have to know the tactics to use with AI. Firstly, interacting with AI. So if a screen is recording you with no human present, the AI is looking for keywords and for energy. Here, energy means two things. It means your voice, how your voice is being recorded. So, the sound annotations, the high and low of the voices, the pauses that you take, and the second part is where you're looking. You should be looking into the camera of the laptop or the phone, not the screen itself, so that the AI would see this or detect this as eye contact, and it will be a plus. It's a positive thing. Also, using hand gestures, um, you know, using your hands in general is good when you're talking, because this is detected as a body language usage, which is, of course, a positive thing for AI. So, yeah, the tips is to look directly at the camera lens, not the screen, and use the mirror keywords from the job description in your answers. The AI filters for specific vocabulary, which is, of course, the ones in the job description, and the professional pace while talking. Moving to the online interviews, Zoom or Teams, this is about commanding the frame. So the problem is looking unprofessional in a home environment or looking down into the laptop as if it were a phone. These are detected as unprofessional and a negative point. The strategy here is to position your camera at AI level, so not AI, at eye level, so it should be at the same level with your head. And the 2 second pause is also important, so before answering to combat digital lag. So waiting just for 2 seconds, not being too quick, too hasty, remembering that it is AI that we're talking to, an actual human, so it makes mistakes as well. It has lags, internet lags, digital lags, so we have to just give it 2 seconds, 3 seconds before answering the question. Look directly into the camera and not being so nervous because it's not a human on the other side. That's a positive side of talking with AI. I mean, there's no judgment at all. And of course, these steps make you seem and look composed, thoughtful, rather than rushed and stressful. This is the part of AI interviews and online interviews. Now, coming to the face to face part, the vibe check. So, when you have a face to face interview, usually it's never especially today, it's never the first interview. It might be the second or the third one after having a phone call, AI interview, and online interview. So this means that you are so close to getting the job. Of course, do not let your guard off. They might ask you surprising questions. It doesn't mean that you got the job, but it means that you have very little left to get it and successfully. So this is a good place to be in. It means that you're very close. It means that hopefully you got the job, but of course not letting your guard off is important. In person meetings, They usually look for the cultural fit. They usually agree that you have the skills needed, and now they only want to know if they can sit next to you for 8 hours, or if it's a remote job. Um, you wouldn't need a face-to-face interview, it would just be online, but you would understand it's kind of the same idea. They would see if it's okay to work with you in general, you as a person. Um, so if you are concise, friendly, and punctual, these three points would actually be good. It would be positive for them. So, of course, the biggest problem here is nervousness. Nervousness in face to face interviews with other humans or online interviews with other humans. It leads to either academic formalism, or it leads to stuttering and, nervous laughter, being unable to gather your thoughts, self-defeating attitudes in general is a result of nervousness. It's okay to be nervous. They know that you're nervous, which is alright. But we have to get over this. Not the nervousness. Nervousness is natural. We have to get over the academic formalism and the other things I mentioned. What does it mean? It means sounding too stiff, or like a student being graded, as if you're answering the questions asked to you by your teacher in school. We have to avoid this, and we have to set a tone of peers. You're talking to your peers, your future co-workers, not your teacher anymore. So we have to set the correct tone for this without sounding so self-indulgent or arrogant at all. So yeah, the peer-to-peer mindset has to be set, and we have to remember we are not students anymore. It's a consultant offering a solution, meaning that there's a position, they have a vacancy, and they need someone to help them. You are here to help, not here to answer the questions correctly. So the best tactic to use is the star L method, which is we have talked about it in one of our previous videos. It's a situation, task, action, result plus learning method. Example, we can say in my research I faced a data gap situation. I used tool or method action to find a new source, which resulted in a high honors grade, the result of the action taken in the situation. I learned how to maintain project momentum when resources are scarce. That is the learning part of it. So if you notice, this is an academic situation, it's not a business situation, but actually the framing and the portrayal, the depiction we give it makes the huge difference. Now we can use it with these steps in a business interview, and it can work. And the body language is one of the main points that we have to focus on, keeping our hands visible on the table and lean slightly forward gives an impression of respect, focus, and interaction. You're interacting with them. You're not trying to you don't have any defense mechanisms activated. You're simply there. You're present. You're listening to them. And when you start talking, of course, using your hands, taking them off the table would be very important. But when you're listening, you have to give the impression that you're an active listener. Not just give the impression, but you have to actively listen to them, of course. The posture is very important. It shows honesty and engagement. It shows them that you care about what they're saying. You're not so lost in your own head. And this is, of course, important to give a good impression and to kind of, shake off any um, judgments or prejudices against you. And of course, when you start talking using your body languages, if you make a mistake in pronouncing one word, this is okay. Body language is much more important than that. than pronouncing words correctly. So confidence is the key here. And the last phase is the AI as your mock interview. Actually, this is outside of the interviews, it's before you conduct an interview. Using AI in the correct way. I mean, this is gonna be another video's topic, how to use AI in general. But here I like to just integrate it into the content of the video, how to use technology in general to audit our performances before the real thing happens. Firstly, it gives us honest assessments. It's not like having a mock interview with your friend. Your friend can be, um, I mean, he or she can be honest, but they might not have the experience to tell you something helpful, or they can just be friendly with you and try to be kind, thus lose the professional tone. But with AI, when you give it instructions to have a mock interview with you, AI will be very helpful. So the strategy here is to paste the job description into the AI tool, and we can write interview me for this role, give me 5 tough questions but realistic questions for this job, and critique my academic to business translation, or critique my answers in general, critique my voice tone, my body language, and if this performance is ready and suitable for an actual interview, and it will do this in a good way. Also, we can do the self audit. This is good for some people and not very good for others. It depends on your personality, such as recording yourself on your phone, watching it back, and are you using, for example, too much, or are you slouching? Correcting these small leaks is what separates a graduate from a professional. Of course, these are two different techniques. I would go with the first one more because it's more objective. um, when we watch ourselves, we tend to be more critical and less objective. We can exaggerate small things or focus too much on little details that don't actually matter. But of course, it depends. If you have comfort, you can do both of them. I would suggest doing at least the first one, and if you have comfort in the second part, of course, you can do it too. And yeah, we have a final action plan as we're used to. We can use the water sip reset. When a question is too hard, it catches you off guard. You don't know the answer basically. So you have to think about something to say, drinking some water, just 5 to 10 seconds, slowly, gulping the water. It will give you some time. You should focus on thinking, not on drinking the water. Just think about the answer. What can I say in this situation? It gives you some time, and it looks so natural that they don't think of it. And even if they think of it, they have nothing to say. You're not silent, you're drinking water. And of course, the power question at the end of the interview, especially the phone call interview, you can ask anything, such as, what does success look like in this role 6 months from now? As in, what would you like me to do in these 6 months? It shows that you are a partner more than just an applicant. You are an applicant, not a partner, but the attitude makes a huge difference, and your attitude can change, psychologically change the parts here. You can view yourself as a partner. And of course, at the closing of at the end of the professional interview, um, we have to frame ourselves not as someone who needs the position and would love to, know more, like a solution. I am a solution to you. You need someone to fill this gap in your business, and I'm ready to do this for you. This attitude would make a difference because mostly, in addition to the skills, the requirements, they look for confidence, they look for someone who can handle communication well. So, communication is a key. Being able, even if you think that the interview didn't go so well, didn't go your way, even if you see that, I mean, there were 2 questions out of 5 that I couldn't really answer, even if you, I mean, feel a bit overwhelmed because of this, a bit disappointed, as long as you are in the interview, whether it's a video call or phone call, be as positive as possible, as confident as possible, because With these things, you never know. You never know which is gonna catch. It's like fishing. You just throw the rod and you hope for the best. Thank you for listening.